Be strong and courageous. The story of Joshua, son of Nun. Who was Joshua? His name was originally Hoshea, meaning salvation, but Numbers 13:16 says that Moses changed it to Joshua, the Hebrew pronunciation being Yehoshua, meaning the Lord is salvation. He was Moses' aide according to Exodus 33 verse 11. Joshua was a man who believed God. He took God at his word and did not doubt. Exodus 33:11 tells us that whenever Moses would go into the tent of meeting to speak with God, Joshua would remain outside. But when Moses left the tent, Joshua stayed behind. Forming days. Every hero or influential character in a story must go through a time of preparation for what is ahead. Joshua's forming days took place in the wilderness, where he wandered with his people for 40 days. One day, he and 11 others had their faith tested. They were sent into the land of Canaan as spies. Only Joshua and Caleb passed this test. While the other 10 spies gave a fearful report back to Moses, Joshua and Caleb gave a report of faith. The call of a lifetime. In Numbers 27 verse 23, Moses commissions Joshua to be the new leader of the Israelites. In Joshua 1 verse 1 through 18, God himself commissions Joshua. He would have many battles to fight. Joshua reported for duty without delay. This was his decisive moment. Joshua was courageous. The phrase, "be strong and courageous," was repeated several times throughout his story. That courage got him through the long battles he fought to conquer the promised land. He remembered that the Lord was his salvation, and his fears were diminished. In Joshua 10, while the Israelites are fighting for the land of Gibeon, Joshua prays for the sun to stand still until the Israelites triumph, and it does. God used Joshua mightily in parting the Jordan River so that the Israelites could come across the land, and also during the Battle of Jericho, when the walls of the great city crumbled to the ground. Joshua 4:14 says that God exalted Joshua in the sight of all Israel. Even the Amorite and Canaanite kings' hearts melted in fear when they heard all that God was doing through Joshua. God was able to use Joshua so mightily because he was obedient and faithful. When the people of Israel entered the promised land, Joshua addressed them, saying, "Choose for yourselves this day whom you will serve, but as for me and my household, we will serve the Lord." We know that Joshua received a reward for his faithfulness. He died in the promised land, unlike the rest of his generation. When Joshua was getting ready to die, he told the Israelites, "Every promise has been fulfilled. Not one has failed." Now let's summarize what we have learned from Joshua's story. God is preparing you for your destiny, even while you are young. God responds when we hunger for him. We do not need to fear when we are on the Lord's side. With God, we can do the impossible. The faithful and obedient will receive a reward.